So we're carrying on with the game Topalov against Anand, and here Anand came up with a brilliant move, brilliant sacrifice. Of course, with the rook attacking the queen, you could simply move the queen away. Perhaps queen f6, or queen c7, queen b6. I think these are reasonable moves, and white is very tied up with these pins, but might be able to survive. Anand's move was absolutely crushing. He played knight takes pawn check. So pawn takes knight, and now queen g5. With the point that the king is attacked, but also the knight on e5. So it's actually a fairly simple double attack. But here I think Topalov plays remarkably well, actually. And with his next move, creates maximum difficulties for Anand. He plays king h2. I think the other moves just lose pretty simply to rook takes knight, but king h2 is actually very tricky indeed. If rook takes knight, now this is a heavy piece of calculation, then f4. Now Anand had seen this and realised that with the exposed king and the queen lined up together, then he could play queen g6, and after rook takes rook, rook c2 check, okay, a familiar pattern. Queen takes queen, so Anand has won the queen, and knight d2 is forced. Now here you have to do a bit of assessment. Normally a queen and bishop against two rooks and knight should be better for the queen, well, particularly as you have a safe, relatively safe king, and this king is exposed with the pawns here. So black has an extra pawn and white's king is exposed, but he realised this was actually quite a tricky position to finish white off, because there are sort of problems on the back rank. If he had to go for this, of course he would do it. But because this looked slightly tricky, Anand looked around for more. And in this position he found a rather brilliant move. I don't know if you want to try and spot this one. Black to play. What would you do here if you were playing with black? So your next test question. Black to play. What did Anand play? He didn't play rook takes knight, but he found something much stronger.